In part one of the Discovering Portal Connector video series, we introduced the Portal Connector and how to install it on Sitefinity CMS. Now we'll create some pages using the Portal Connector page templates we spoke about in part one. To begin, we'll create a series of unidirectional pages starting with a grid of accounts that will edit into an account detail page, which will further take us into a contact detail page via relationship. Each detail page will have form data, so we will add a form manager to each of those pages. We'll start by creating some pages right into the root node. So let's create a grid of accounts. And we won't include it in the navigation for now. And we will use the TPC demo base template. The grid of accounts page has been generated. It is using the template that we spoke about earlier. We'll go ahead and publish this page and exit. Okay, and we will go ahead and create the account detail page that this page will take us to. So that's going to be a child page. Account detail. We'll continue. Select the same template. And we have this page created. We'll go ahead and publish. Actually, one more step is I wanted to include a TPC form manager on each of these detail pages, because what we'll eventually do is have a form of the account detail information. So for now, we'll just leave it blank because we don't have a form yet created. But we'll go ahead and republish. And we'll go back. And as I said before, the account detail page will take us to a contact detail page via relationship. So let's create another child page, call it contact detail. Click on continue and choose the same page template. We'll go ahead and drag a form manager, and now we'll go ahead and publish the contact detail page and head back to our original page, the grid of account page, and drag a grid widget over to it. But before I go ahead and configure the grid widget, let me go ahead and just introduce some of the page widgets that we have here. We have a list of product-related widgets, which are associated with the e-commerce module that we installed, all the way from product list to checkout. We have the form flow, which is affiliated with the form flow module, and then we have some knowledge base widgets and the Power BI widget. The remaining widgets come installed when you download the Portal Connector MVC. Now we'll go back to continuing with configuring our grid here. What we're going to do is allow editing, and we're going to go over to the account detail page. Then we're going to go to the data tab and select account and let it generate a default fetch. Give it a second there. Press save, publish. And now it's been published. We're going to go ahead and view the page. So this is the page. It's showing us our grid with the account name, primary contact, and main phone number displayed here. Now, let's say if we also wanted to include the email address of the primary contact. We can achieve this by attaching a linked entity to the contacts and setting the email address as its attribute. So we'll go ahead and just do that. So we'll go back to grid of accounts. Just give it a second to load. Edit it again. click on Build, add a linked entity, and from the linked entity, we're going to select the entity that is related by the primary contact ID. So when we select that option, we see here the entity's name is contact and it's related by the primary contact ID. And then we're going to go ahead and add an attribute to the email address. And then you can see email address 1 is listed right there. So we're going to save and close, save the configurations, publish, go back to the Grid of Accounts tab, refresh. We should see a list of primary contact email. Now let's see what happens when we click on edit on one of these account records. We see that we get directed to the account details page, and interestingly enough, we get a query string of an account ID equal to this GUID here that is encrypted. You may also notice that the page is blank. That is because we have not created a form for the account detail page. In session 3 of our series, we will do just that.